Downtown News at midnight, this is Newsline with John Draper. And the headlines: Councillor survives murder bid, Tory MP to defy bomb threat, honours even in Hampton soccer clash, but English fail in Wembley showpiece. Belfast councillor Sammy Miller's been shot by INLA gunmen in his Shankle Road home, and in a statement to Downtown Radio, they say why he was singled out. Eamon Malley reports.
The statement says Sammy Miller was singled out because he was a member of the UDA, described as a legalised gang of pro-British assassins. The statement added that the UDA had, at the behest of the masters, murdered hundreds of nationalist people in an attempt to terrorise and make the nationalists continue to submit, as they put it, to British rule. Mr. Miller, who was in his Denmark Street home, was taking care of an 11-month-old baby in the house when the two gunmen struck. He was hit in the leg and stomach and is described as ill. As the would-be killers made their getaway by car, an off-duty member of the security forces fired several shots, but no hits were claimed. The vehicle was later found a short distance away. Miller topped the poll as an independent unionist in the City Council by-election 2 months ago in Area G. Following his victory, Glenn Barr declared there were now 3 UDA councillors sitting in the Greater Belfast area.
Republican Club's councillor Seamus Lynch says the outrage has the hallmarks of people dedicated to silencing democratically elected representatives. John Cousins of the Alliance Party says although he opposed everything Mr. Miller stood for, he still had the right to live, and Alliance member Philip McGarry, who opposed Mr. Miller in the January by-election, added his condemnation. Dr. Joe Hendren of the SDLP denounced what he labelled a callous attack, which thankfully hadn't succeeded. And official Unionist councillor Cecil Walker said it was a brutal assault on a public representative in the course of his civic duties. A 27-year-old man's been shot in the foot in North Belfast. The incident happened at Forth River Gardens. The man, who police say is not a member of the security forces, was shot in the right ankle. He's been taken to hospital where his condition is said to be satisfactory. The Provisional IRA is being blamed for the letter bomb attack on Tory MP Jill Knight. From Westminster, Peter Spencer.
Mail sorters at the Commons became suspicious because the address on the package containing the bomb had been printed, not typed, and there was no address on the back. Closer examination revealed a copper wire shining through one of the perforated holes, and Scotland Yard were called in. They're now investigating, but Mrs. Knight already suspects that the IRA are responsible. The 1974 Birmingham pub bombing, which led to the biggest mass murder trial in British history, happened in her constituency. Since then, she's campaigned vigorously for the death penalty for such offences, and she's not put off by what happened today.
I think that if anyone is put off by something like this, then we may just as well all give up and go home and let the baddies rule, but I certainly have no intention of being put off.
Understandably, though, Mrs. Knight admits to being very shaken by what happened.
And the IRA have released a statement saying that they weren't responsible for the incident. 400 Enterprise Ulster workers will know within the next week if they're to lose their jobs. Payoffs are predicted in another cost-cutting move, and fears are rising the organisation may be wound up completely. The man cleared of the Le Mans Massacre has now been acquitted of being in the IRA. Edward Manning Brophies won an appeal against conviction for membership of the outlawed organisation, but he'll stay behind bars while Crown lawyers take their case to the House of Lords.
Impoverished, and I think it's a very great pity. Dr. Maurice Craig.
IRA hunger striker Bobby Sands has declared himself a candidate in the forthcoming Fermanagh South Tyrone by-election. Here's our political correspondent, Eamon Malley.
Sinn Féin claim in a statement that they've got a commitment from those nationalists who publicly declare themselves as runners in the forthcoming by-election that if a hunger striker were to stand, they would bow out. Last night, Bernadette Michalski confirmed to me in an interview that that would be her position. However, a spokesman for Noel Maguire said tonight he'd not been consulted before the Sinn Féin statement had been issued, and that he is still in the field and will not be stepping down. Sinn Féin say, nevertheless, Bobby Sands will be standing as an agreed candidate on an anti-H Block's Armagh ticket. He's gone already 26 days without food in demand of political status. Sinn Féin say Sands' candidature provides the nationalist community with an opportunity of quantifying their support for the Armagh and Maze inmates. They also claim Sansa's life and the other hunger strikers can be saved if a prisoner is elected. They say under no circumstances, if elected, would the seat by default or by a British court order be allowed to fall to a runner-up. In other words, Sands would resign and the whole process would have to start again.
And H-Block campaigners here have thrown their weight behind Sands. They're calling on all other nationalist candidates to stand down and give him a clear run. Meanwhile, 4 Fermanagh widows have urged Harry West to give Roy Kells a free run against any Republican candidates. All lost their husbands in IRA murder attacks and were the group who met Mrs Thatcher in